Hello, Aries. This is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with your reading for the second half of April from the 16th through the 30th. General, as always, guys, it's not going to resonate with every single person, so please do take from it what makes sense for you personally and release the rest. If you are interested in your own reading, that information is down below in the description box. I'll include a link to all of the decks that you do see here today. Aries and, of course, cross watchers are welcome. So I will timestamp these down below. I'm breaking up the sections into the divine masculine messages and then focusing on divine feminine messages. So whatever part you want to watch is you're more than welcome, or you can watch the whole thing, whatever resonates with you. Either these two storylines meld together or they're two completely storylines. So we'll have to take a look and see how it all unfolds here. So I'm going to start with the divine masculine. So if you're watching for the masculine, this is the portion of the reading that you are going to be focused on. So I'm going to start with the Heart Songs deck, and then we'll go ahead and grab some messages from my Real Talk with Him Words of Wisdom deck. So typically I do the Love and Life series for the first and second half of the month. Wanted to switch things up this time, so songs in the key of love, musical messages for this love connection is what we're going to be focusing on here. All right, so starting with the masculine, as I've mentioned, let's go ahead and grab a song or two to get things started here, Aries. All right, let's take a look. Where is the divine masculine in their heart, in their thoughts when it comes to this love connection? All right, so let's grab a song. Say Something. A Great Big World. So this is basically a breakup song, okay? Say something. I'm giving up on you. I'll be the one if you want me to. Anywhere I would have followed you. Say something. I'm giving up on you. And I'm feeling so small. It was over my head. I know nothing at all and I will stumble and fall. I'm still learning to love, just starting to crawl. So this message could, of course, be coming from the divine masculine, or this is what this masculine said to the feminine. I mean, take it for how it makes sense, whoever it was that did the breaking up here. But this is about two people that more than likely went your separate ways and you guys are at a distance from one another, or there's one person here that was just ready to give up the fight when it came to the relationship because things could have been unbalanced. One person was giving more than the other, and there were just some major challenges here. So let's grab another song. And I Am Telling You by Jennifer Holiday. Tear down the mountains, yell, scream, and shout. You can say what you want, I'm not walking out. Stop all the rivers, push, strike, and kill. I'm not gonna leave you, there's no way I will. Interesting. Okay, so we've got a breakup song here, and then we have this song basically letting whoever it was that was doing the breaking up, it's like, let's not give up on us. It's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm willing to fight for this connection. But it could also be that you guys were screaming at each other. You guys were arguing and fighting. And at the end of the day, if you guys are willing to work through this, you got to hang in there, you know? So we'll have to see how the rest of the messages play a role in what comes through here for the masculine. So let's go ahead and grab a couple of cards from the Words of Wisdom, Real Talk with Him. So we've got, as I mentioned, a breakup song, and the other one is more optimistic. It's like, I'm willing to work through our challenges. I'm willing to work through our issues. And maybe this is this person finally saying something, you know, especially when perhaps the masculine was realizing that the feminine was about to give up, you know, and walk out. Could be the masculine that's basically saying, you know, let's try again. Let's give this another try. I'm not leaving this connection. Okay, so take it for how it makes sense. So let's grab a card. The little things I notice about you has turned into a love so big. My heart is bursting with happiness. Okay, isn't it interesting how the name of the artist or the group that did this song, Say Something, A Great Big World, and then there's that reference once again, turned into a love so big. And maybe that is how this masculine sees this connection with the feminine, that it was something so much bigger than what either of you could have even envisioned. You know, it was way bigger than you. It was bigger than what you guys had ever dreamed of that this could be turning into. Let's grab another message. I won't put my life on hold for you, so please don't put your life on hold for me. If we're meant to be, we'll find our way back to each other. Okay? So that's coming through from some of the masculines here. They don't want the feminine to put their life on hold. So we've got quite a few messages presenting itself here. Take whichever one of these makes sense when it comes to the connection with the divine masculine. All right, so I'm going to set these guys aside over here. And it's going to be off camera, but I'll refer to it if I have to. It's, you know, it's interesting. When I got this desk, I'm like, okay, this one's way bigger than the other one, and yet I just still don't ever have enough room. All right, so let's continue. Let's dig a little bit deeper when it comes to the divine masculine. I'm going to grab some messages from the silhouettes deck here. So we have some masculines who are not willing to give up. They're not going to walk out on this relationship. And then on the other side of that equation is a masculine letting the feminine know. It's like, I'm not going to put my life on hold for you, so I don't want you doing that for me. And basically trusting that if you guys are meant to be, if you're meant to find your way back to each other. So we might have a masculine here who's just trusting that you guys will find your way back, you know, trusting the universe to create an opportunity for you guys to find your way back. All right, Aries. Yeah, look at that. We've got tumultuous. So for some of you, we do have a couple of scenarios presenting itself here. There are certain relationships for this divine masculine where a connection came to an end because there could have been a very lopsided energy between two people. As I've mentioned, one was giving more than the other. Giving and receiving, there was not this energy of equality, which is very similar really to the Six of Pentacles in tarot. We'll see if that pops up, you know, once I start pulling tarot messages. So we've got tumultuous. We were wrong for each other right from the start, but we chose to ignore the signs until our raised voices drowned out any further remnants of love we had left to give. So interesting, you know, again, going back to this song, yell, scream, and shout. And maybe when you guys would talk to each other, you were doing more arguing and yelling rather than being able to talk to each other calmly to be able to work through the issues of the partnership. This makes sense as well. Fragile. Healing takes time. Honor your journey. Open your heart when you are ready. This can apply to the masculine, of course, but it can apply to the feminine as well, especially if you were dealing with a masculine who ended up hurting you. I'm also feeling for some of you guys, and take this only if it makes sense, you could have been dealing with a masculine who was verbally abusive towards you. So if you're feminine watching, and if that's why things were so tumultuous between you and your masculine, that could certainly be the case. It could be you that was coming through with this message towards your masculine, my feminines, letting them know, it's like, say something because I'm about to give up on this partnership. Interesting. We have glitter. You leave a trail of sparkle wherever you go. The little things I notice about you has turned into a love so big. My heart is bursting with happiness. And I really do feel, my feminines watching for this masculine, this is how they see you. That you make them happy. That you walk into a room and this is the type of energy that you exude, you know? That sparkle. You could have a very sparkling, magnetic personality, and they see that. But no doubt, I mean, it's coming through as a very complicated situation here. You and I, we're a complex duo. This love story hasn't been easy. Ups, downs, challenges, obstacles to overcome, but you and I together, we can get through it all. And that's where teamwork comes into play. Equality, equal give and take, giving and receiving. But somebody definitely broke free from this tumultuous situation. Break free, take control, and get out now. So it really depends on how this all played out in your situation, because I'm feeling it could go either way. We've got some masculines who decided to break free from a relationship that they knew just was not what it was that they were looking for. Or we've got feminines here who decided to detach from a masculine because the relationship wasn't going anywhere, or it just wasn't going the way you guys wanted it to. And I do feel this coming forward from the Divine Masculine, this message. Melancholy. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed by this blanket of sadness, this emptiness, knowing we're apart, knowing that I'm the reason why. That they didn't put in the effort, that they didn't speak up when they had the opportunity to do so. So, couple of scenarios, as I've mentioned. Those of you who decided to end things, and those perhaps who are dealing with complicated situations, but the love certainly is there. All right, so let's add to this and let's see what else needs to come through. I'm going to pull from my Heart and Soul Love Oracle deck here. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Aries. Focusing on the Divine Masculine. What else do we need to know? Tumultuous situations for some. Yeah, makes sense. We've got cleanse. Mistakes in love. It's a part of growing, living, loving. We don't always make the best decisions. We cross boundaries and go after those that are not meant for us or are good for us. We get our hands dirty. Through gained wisdom, time, and owning up to those mistakes, we create change. And I also feel that has a lot to do with this fragile energy, because as it says, healing takes time. So the masculine has to recognize that. The feminine does as well. And maybe when you're both ready, you can open up your heart to trying again. Trusting that the universe will give you guys the opportunity if it's meant to be. Certainly that's how the masculine is interpreting things. But no doubt, there's heartbreak here. When things ended, for some of you, it broke your heart. So this card says, I can't handle this pain anymore. It's tearing me into a million pieces. My heart is on the floor. I can't eat. I can't sleep. It's too much. Too overwhelming. Let me just go to sleep and never wake up. I'll never recover from this grief, this heartbreak. I can't go on. So if you're feminine watching and you broke up with your masculine and you're wondering how they're doing, they're not doing well. If they are still saturating themselves in this very painful energy of heartbreak because of how things played out between the two of you. Now, for some of my feminines, this is where you're at. You're healing. And that's a process that you cannot rush. It's going to have to take time. Because something painful happened here when things ended for some of you guys. We do have touching. So, I mean, no doubt the attraction, the heat, the chemistry, the sexual energy and interactions between the two of you, that's coming through here. The attraction, the fire, the passion between us is undeniable. I want you, you want me. We have had this intensity right from the start. The way you kiss me, move me, make love to me. I remember the way we looked into each other's eyes, the sound of your breath, the taste of your kiss. Nobody will ever touch me the way you do. Nobody. So this could represent, of course, those intimate moments when you guys were together, when times were good. But it's right next to heartbreak. And it's right next to complicated. So it wasn't always tumultuous. There were good parts of this relationship, but there were parts of it that were just toxic, I feel, for some of you. And perhaps it is you, the viewer, that decided to break free. It could have broken your heart to break free. It could have hurt you to let this masculine go. But it's something perhaps that you needed to do for your own sanity, for your own peace of mind. I can't help but feel that for some of you, maybe you feel that this was a mistake. There could have been infidelities here. There could have been trust issues. And, we have a masculine here who's sad, feeling lonely, melancholy, overwhelmed, feeling empty. Knowing we're apart, knowing that I'm the reason why. We have fragmentary. You and I are pieces to a puzzle that make no sense when we are apart. Incomplete without all the pieces of who we are together. You are the missing piece of my heart. Without you, the masterpiece of my life will forever remain unfinished. So, yeah, it could have been tumultuous. Yes, it could have been complicated. But for those who are at a distance from one another, I have a feeling here we've got a divine masculine who regrets certain actions, things that they either said that were very hurtful, or things that they failed to do or say. Going back to the song here, say something. I'm giving up on you. This could be the feminine saying this to the masculine. But perhaps we have a masculine here who didn't say anything, who didn't do anything to try to salvage the partnership. And clearly letting the feminine know, I won't put my life on hold for you, so please don't put your life on hold for me. And maybe my feminine's watching for this masculine. You already know that. And hopefully you're not putting your life on hold, that you're living your best life. We have one. We only have one life. Fill it with your hopes, wishes, dreams, and goals, whatever they may be. We only have one heart. Fill it with love, joy, happiness, fulfillment, contentment, and gratitude. We only have one love, the only one that truly has that one beating heart of yours. Cherish it. But part of the challenge here is that this love, this connection, was not cherished. More than likely, the connection was taken for granted. And we might have a masculine here who allowed the feminine to leave their life. Possibly thinking, it's okay. I'm going to make it through this. This is what's meant to happen between the two of us, is to go our separate ways. But I can't help but feel that they've got some regrets. Because they didn't do or say enough. And I'm feeling this for the feminines here. I feel so insignificant, so small. You treated me like an afterthought, like I didn't matter. Always putting me last on your priority list. I feel like I'm being sucked into this never-ending abyss of darkness and sadness. You've knocked me down for the last time. No one will ever make me feel this small, ever again. And it's interesting how we've got two total opposite energies coming through here. Remember the reference to big, a great big world. A love so big. And yet, we've got someone here who's feeling so small, so insignificant, like they didn't matter. So whoever was in this energy, or still is, this is perhaps what it was that you did. You decided to take control of your own life and get out. Cleansing your own energies, learning from your own mistakes. And perhaps for some of my masculines here, that's a part of their journey as well. Maybe somebody in their life caused them to feel small and insignificant. And that broke their heart. And if they didn't take the time to heal from that, then that's a repetitive pattern perhaps that they created for themselves. Hurting people, breaking their hearts because their own heart hasn't even been fully healed. So if they're still in this fragile state and they're still dealing with heartbreak from the past, then they're going to keep creating those mistakes. And that's a pattern that needs to be broken. So the masculine as well needs to break free from those patterns to cleanse their own energies. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some tarot messages here. All right. So I'm going to pull from the Sacred Secrets of the Heart Tarot by Jennifer Aquarius Tarot. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Aries, focusing on the divine masculine at this time. So some complicated situations coming through for some of you. So as always, take whatever part of this makes sense. Angels and spirit guides, please. All right, so we've got the High Priestess coming up in the reverse. Someone's not trusting their gut or intuition here. This is, in the reverse, a loss of self. But it could also represent repression, secrets, hidden agendas. And if that is what ultimately contributed to the partnership coming to an end, then that might still be happening for some of you. Certainly when it comes to this connection with the divine masculine. But if that does not apply, we simply have an individual here who perhaps has lost their sense of direction, their sense of self. They've lost themselves in the overall scheme of things, you know? And they need to be able to work on that. Possibly the masculine needs to be able to work on that. But we do have the Empress coming through, so my divine feminines, here you are. Maybe right now, especially if you have detached from your masculine, if that makes sense to you, you're just working on you. You're working on yourself. You're in this energy of abundance. You are creating whatever it is that you are focused on. Your goals, your dreams, your own growth, your healing. This makes sense to me why this is here. That Four of Swords is healing. This is recuperation time, you know? It's restoration. It's a resting period. So for some of you, that's where you guys are at. This is a time to really reassess where you've been on this journey. And to recuperate from this. Because it's heavy, it's painful, it's hurtful, you know? And there's just no way around that. But we do have a masculine that is coming through as the King of Cups. Supportive, affectionate. Okay, so the Cups energy here could be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces for some of you, for your divine masculine. And maybe in the past, they weren't coming through as this king. They weren't ready to offer that cup of love. You know, because this could represent past energies right here. I won't put my life on hold for you, so please don't put your life on hold for me. And just seeing that Empress card, I know, my feminines, you didn't put your life on hold for this masculine. You went out there and you lived your damn life. Good for you. So if there's not a whole lot going on here between you and your masculine, that's because of this Two of Swords. Maybe they just need more time to figure things out for themselves. They could be blinded, as it says, or confused. And if they're confused, they haven't been able to find clarity. Because this is a stalemate right here. Some of you might be also focused on an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. But I don't think you guys are going to be in this energy forever, because we've got the Six of Swords, okay? Transition, tranquility, as it says there. So part of that transition for this connection with the Divine Masculine is to leave things in the past, leave it behind. It's not going to serve either of you. It's time to move on. Either you guys move on working on this connection together, even though it's complicated. Remember, you and I together, we can get through it all. So you're heading towards the calmer waters of the Six of Swords. You've already been through some rough seas right there with that tumultuous energy. It's like being stuck in the middle of a storm, in the middle of the ocean, and you guys are just sinking. Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment, contentment, emotional stability. Some of you guys might be dealing with a masculine who can indulge a little bit too much with alcohol and drinking too much. That could represent that Nine of Cups also. So for those of you who are at a distance from one another, you're not together, you can still manifest this wish of love coming into your life. Either there's a reconnection here, or you guys go your separate ways and find love elsewhere. Because sometimes our wishes manifest in a very different way from what we had originally envisioned. So you can manifest this either with the masculine that you're watching this reading for, or you manifest it, my feminines, by tapping into the energy of that Empress, which represents you. Remember, you've got a masculine here who doesn't want you to put your life on hold, and I don't feel you have. But for those of you that relate to that, it's time to find clarity for yourself. Remember, Six of Swords, leave it behind and move on. You know, if you know in your heart that this is a done deal, then it's time to take control, as that card says, and break free if you haven't already. So remember what I was talking about, equality and the Six of Pentacles? There it is. That's exactly what's needed. Equality, equal give and take, giving and receiving. You both have to be as equally invested in this partnership. Because the moment one person doesn't put in the effort, then we've got the other person picking up the slack. And the more that happens, it just creates a very out of balance way of interacting in the partnership. This could have been a reality for some of you. And as you can see, it says heartbreak there again. This is the Three of Swords. So no doubt, either we have a masculine who's brokenhearted because someone hurt them, and they turned around and hurt the feminine here because they haven't taken the time to heal from that experience. Or this heartbreak is as a result of dealing with this masculine who broke your heart, my feminines watching. The Three of Swords, it's heavy. Separation, grief, heartbreak. Could be a love triangle for some of you. And then we've got the Page of Wands. So Wands is fire energy. This is your own energy, Aries. So if you're feminine and you're Aries, watching for a divine masculine, it's time perhaps to make these exciting plans for yourself if your masculine is unable to meet you halfway. It's either that or we have a masculine who finally steps up and is able to be the ideal mate for the feminine here. That there's still a spark between the two of you. And then we've got the Justice card, picking up off of Libra for some of you. Truths exposed, facing the truth, learning the truth revealed. It could be any of those things. This is the need for balance right here, balancing those scales. That's exactly what's needed. And how do you balance those scales? Through the Six of Pentacles. Equalizing things. Calibrating the way you guys interact in this partnership. There's a very special soul connection here for some of you guys. And maybe there's a part of you, the viewer, that's not quite ready to give up on this connection with the divine masculine. But at the same time, you don't want to put your life on hold, okay? And truly, if it's meant to be, if this wish is meant to manifest, it will. All right, so let's add to this. I'm going to go ahead and grab some additional messages from the Twin Flame Angel Numbers deck. This is by Mystic Moon. Angels and spirit guides, please, focusing on Aries, divine masculine. Let's see what else. We've got 828. Karmic justice will be served for the highest good of all parties involved. That's no accident. Where's that justice card? Here it is. Karmic justice. And then we've got the Justice card. Karma will be served here for someone. Could be the divine masculine. For those that know and resonate with the fact that this is a twin flame bond, this could be for you. 2, 3, 4. Your twin is leveling up their energy in order to match yours and will face you when the time is right. And when that might happen is when healing finally has completed and when perhaps you're both ready. $64. And, these numbers could play a significant role for some of you. Try to see things from your twin flame's perspective to gain a better understanding. Try to see things from each other's point of view. We have 829 coming through as well. Pay attention to your dreams. Hidden information is waiting to be discovered. When it comes to this divine masculine connection, there's something in your dreams that's trying to grab your attention at this time. So we do have quite a bit of twin flame energies represented here. You and your twin flame are mirroring each other's thoughts at this present time. And maybe you guys don't even realize that you're mirroring each other, but that is what's presenting itself here. Let's grab one more message here. And then we've got 511. Your twin flame is now beginning to connect the dots back to you. You see? So there's a possibility that there could be a reconnection here for some of you guys that are in separation and are not together. It could have taken distance and time for this divine masculine to see what a special love connection this actually is. We might even have masculines here who don't even understand what the whole twin flame concept is about. But, you know, at the end of the day, if I can speak today, it could either be a twin flame connection that you're focused on, or maybe you resonate more with the fact that you feel a soul connection with someone. It doesn't have to be a twin flame. So there's a possibility here for reconnecting. But for others, I do feel that this is a situation that you have decided it's not for you and you've gone in a different direction. Despite the complications and how tumultuous it is, some of you guys are choosing to focus on your own journey, your own healing, and open to the possibilities of finding love elsewhere. And if that's where you're at, that's okay. You got to honor that. Okay. So wrapping things up here, guys, I'm going to pull some final guidance from the Universal Heart Oracle deck by Angelic Revelation 144. So focusing on the Divine Masculine here for this Aries reading. Let's see what the message is. Okay, we've got a couple cards. There is great abundance in all ways that is ready to flow into your life as you connect with spirit and embrace your creativity. Pay attention to any new inspirations that you have, as these are inspired by the divine to bring you great healing and to help other like-minded souls. Trust the guidance you are receiving to take your work and creation in new and exciting directions. Amazing opportunities and success is likely if you direct this powerful creative energy towards achieving your creative goals. So that's been mentioned a few times in this card, the energy of creativity when it comes to the Divine Masculine. They could be a naturally creative individual, but there's this energy of abundance that's coming in, which is fantastic. I'm also feeling for some masculines that they are perhaps focused on their career, their livelihood, their money matters right now. Certainly if their love life is just not going well, and part of their healing journey perhaps is to just focus on things that they can control, things that are actually going well for them, throwing their energies into that. And then we have this other card. A connection within your life is soon to transform, as the soul bond you share will grow ever deeper than before. I love that. True love may have once seemed like just a dream, but the empathy and compassion you share with this person will continue to create an emotional closeness like you've never experienced before. There is no need for you to have any fear because this person is your perfect vibrational match. You may seem different externally, but internally you are so very alike. United together, you can overcome any challenges to your current circumstances and establish a loving romantic relationship that feeds your heart and soul. And I really feel, especially for my feminines watching for this Divine Masculine, you guys really needed this one to continue to heal from that heartbreak and to know that at the end of the day, the universe might just give you guys that much needed push to find your way back towards each other. So maybe it's not over for some of you. That's what's presenting itself here. Okay, so that's what came through as far as the messages for the Divine Masculine this time around, Aries. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what comes forward from the Divine Feminine reading. It could either be combined with this reading or it could be a totally separate storyline. We'll take a look at that. For those who would like to watch this portion of the reading focused on the Divine Feminine, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using the Heart Songs of the 90s deck, and then we'll grab a card from the Real Talk with Her Words of Wisdom deck, one or two cards. Okay, so let's see where the feminine is at on this journey. So again, either both parts of this reading make sense together, or we've just got separate storylines that are coming through. So take whatever parts of it, as always, make sense for you. All right, Aries, Divine Feminine. So grabbing a couple of songs here, I'm guided to this one. I Knew I Loved You by Savage Garden. Maybe it's intuition, but some things you just don't question. Like in your eyes, I see my future in an instant. And there it goes. I think I found my best friend. I know that it might sound more than a little crazy, but I believe. I knew I loved you before I met you. I think I dreamed you into life. I knew I loved you before I met you. I've been waiting all my life. Beautiful. So this is one of those love connections where you might have really envisioned a particular partner coming into your life, and maybe it took a really long time for that to happen. Maybe you were ready to give up on love, and just when you were ready to give up, you were able to manifest this person who was, for a very long time, just a dream of yours. Okay, so take that if it applies, if it makes sense. Let's grab another song. Angel of Mine by Monica. How you changed my world. You'll never know. I'm different now. You helped me grow. You came into my life sent from above. When I lost all hope, you showed me love. So this is what's coming through. In a way, they go together, because someone was losing hope that they were not going to find love. But that perhaps is not the case here, So let's go ahead and add to this and grab a couple more messages. All right, so pulling from the Real Talk with Her deck. Angels and spirit guides, please, focusing on the divine feminine for Aries. What are the messages here? Okay, I'm guided to this card. Look at that. He's the one. You have found the one, divine feminine. Confirmation that he loves you. Oh my. Okay. So if you've wondered, if you've questioned, does he love me? Yes. Okay. He's the one, and you know that in your heart. You might even refer to your masculine as an angel, or it could be the divine masculine who calls the feminine an angel, or just feeling that this was sent from up above, that kind of love connection. Wow. All right, so I'm going to set these songs aside, and we'll refer to them throughout the reading if need be. But those are some great cards, guys. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull messages from the Sacred Healing Journey by Angelic Revelation 144. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Aries, focusing on the divine feminine. So, how has the feminine been affected by this love connection? He's the one. He loves you. Back to the past. Thinking about the past, feeling nostalgic, perhaps about the memories that you have shared together. Calm waters. I love how that's coming through, because going back to the divine masculine reading where that Six of Pentacles came forward, or rather Six of Swords. I can't even think today. Six of Swords is about heading towards those calmer waters. It's a transition. It's leaving a situation behind that just, it's not working. Moving on from that, moving on from the past. It's interesting how we've got back to the past. So there could have been something in the past where you guys had encountered some struggles or obstacles in the relationship, but now you guys are heading towards these calm waters. No more drama, moving past the drama. We've got telepathy, telepathic communication. So this is an indication here for some of you that you're not with the person that you are thinking about. But you guys are still interacting telepathically. speaking to each other in that way. But look at this. We've got manifestation, mystical, the magic of you, bringing the magic back. Manifesting this connection back in the 3D. So that you guys don't have to be interacting telepathically. You can actually see each other face to face. Be with each other the way you want to be. Look at this. Manifestation, engagement. We have a yes answer right there. Will you marry me? So there could be part of this transition of moving on from the past and whatever obstacles you guys had going on in the past. Moving forward. This is where you guys are headed. Mending bridges. I love it. Kiss and make up. This is focused on two people who will find their way back to each other. And then we've got musical messages coming through here. And it does say love songs right there. Okay, we do have wedding bands right here. So some of you guys, again, might ultimately end up marrying this person that you are thinking about for this portion of the reading. So if you happen to be a masculine watching for the feminine, this is where things could ultimately go. And if you are feminine watching this reading to see where things will go with you and your masculine, there's a possibility for future commitment here, whether it results in an actual marriage or you guys just being able to finally get to that level of commitment. And I love this. We've got blossoming, new beginnings, love in bloom. We are in the spring season, so something might happen here for some of you guys where things can come back together, where love can bloom once again between the two of you. Love that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab messages once again from my Heart and Soul Love Oracle. Angels and spirit guides, please, focusing on the divine feminine for this Aries reading. Future marriage, commitment, heading towards calmer waters, no more drama. So that is letting us know that there was drama because you guys are moving away from it. And if you're at a distance from your masculine, my divine feminine, you know, it's clearly indicated here that he loves you. I mean, obviously it says he, you know, it doesn't have to be. Could be reversed for some of you guys. So gender-wise, take it for how it makes sense. We do have fulfilled. Somehow the universe knew that I was unfulfilled, something missing in my life, but I always tried to hide the pain through a tough exterior that covered such vulnerability. When we met, I was empty. My cup is now overflowing with love because of you. Because of you. So this could be the masculine saying these things to the divine feminine. Some of you guys could have had a painful breakup. That might be what this past energy is all about. Severing ties. There comes a point when you know in your heart of hearts it's over. There's nothing more to say, nothing more to do. That doesn't make it any easier to let go. No one can rush you to detach, but the day will come when it won't be so hard. So again, something in the past could have been difficult, traumatic, painful, drama-filled, but you guys are moving away from that. We've got cozy. Loneliness can feel so cold when we allow ourselves to wallow in that darkness. It's amazing how uplifting and comforting the right person, the right kind of love is. This is how your love makes my heart feel. Warm, loved, cherished, even on the coldest of days. That cozy, warm feeling. That is the effect that this love has on the masculine, divine feminine. This is perhaps how you're both feeling about this love. We have love dance. Okay, this also reminds me of like a wedding, you know, like a wedding reception, that first dance between the bride and the groom. And isn't it interesting how we've got this? Love songs. Okay. You guys could have a particular song that you guys really love to listen to, or that you might have even dedicated to each other. So this card says, there's no one else on this planet I'd want to go through this dance of life with. You are my other half, my best friend, my lover, my plus one, my person, my soulmate. Let's dance this dance together for the rest of our days. You see, this is commitment here. Somebody who wants to be a part of your life forever. And then we have, again, I have never desired anyone as much as I want you. I can't stop myself from thinking about your kiss, the way you touch me, make love to me. I can feel you with me even when you're not near. I know you want me just as much. Let's make this a reality again. Back in the 3D world rather than the 5D. Manifestation of union here. Wow. All right, so let's go ahead and grab some tarot messages here. And let's take a look and see where else this is going to go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull from the Sacred Secrets of the Heart Tarot by Jennifer Aquarius Tarot. Angels and Spirit Guides, please, for Aries. Focusing on the Divine Feminine here. So it depends on if you're feminine watching this reading for yourself and how things are going to play out between you and your masculine, or we have a masculine who is tuning in for a feminine. All right, guys, let's see. So yeah, there was drama in the past, but it seems that you guys are moving on from that. We've got the Justice card right here. Truths exposed. The need to balance the scales between the two of you. Truth and integrity. The need for clarity. There's a soul contract here between you and this person. We've got the Magician. That's interesting. Where is that message? Remember this card right here. Manifestation. Mystical, the magic of you. We've got the Magician right here, and it says manifesting visions. That's what the Magician card is all about, is manifestation. When it comes to your love life, it's manifestation of your soulmate, of your ideal mate, a very special soul connection. Being able to perhaps create something new in this love connection. And again, you've got a new beginning here with that blossoming card, love in bloom. We've got the Lover's card, and it says soulmates in this particular deck. For some of you, your person could be a Gemini. Okay, so there's a very deep soul connection here between two people. Sexual chemistry is off the charts. With the Lover's card, it's one of those cards in tarot where it's really wanting you to make a choice and a decision that could be life-altering. That one decision can change everything about what's going on between the feminine and the masculine. And perhaps that decision this time around could be to start again, to finally commit to each other. Look at this next card. We've got the Ace of Wands. Wands is your own fire energy, Aries. Didn't that card card come through also for the divine masculine? I believe it did. New creation, new beginnings, inspiration, desire, the spark between two people. It's still here. It is still here. Perhaps some of you might be dealing with an air sign. We already have Gemini through the Lover's card right there. We've got air energy from the Magician. We've got Libra with the Justice card. So lots of air coming through here. Some of you guys might even be dealing with a masculine who's slightly younger than you, or maybe you could have also been dealing with a masculine who was immature in the past. And, you know, they tend to do things really impulsively. But this Knight of Swords is very action-oriented. They can be a little bit opinionated at times, but they tend to do things quite hastily, you know. That could be your person. That could be your masculine. So the Divine Feminine is also coming through with the energy of the Queen of Pentacles, with this very nurturing type energy. The Queen of Pentacles, nurturing, resourceful, as it says right there. The Queen of Pentacles is, or could be, representing a mother figure here. Some of you guys could have already had children together. Or we might have a Divine Feminine here who already has children from previous relationships. Or, if that's not the case, Queen of Pentacles, someone who's very down to earth. Just overall, a very motherly type energy. This could also represent someone's actual mother in their life, especially if, for example, the Divine Feminine has a mother who plays such a strong role in their life. We've got the Star. Some of you might be dealing with an Aquarian. So again, more air energy coming through here. A wish that can still come true. Wish manifestation here. There's still hope that you guys can find your way back to each other. This is hope and faith and rejuvenation. A particular path that is being illuminated for the Divine Feminine especially to follow. And that path might ultimately lead the feminine back towards the masculine. It's either that, or we have a masculine who finds their way back to the feminine because of this Star. Because of that Star card. The Star can also be indicative of self-care. So maybe in the meantime, the Divine Feminine has to focus on just mindful energies when it comes to self-care and self-love. The feminine needing to put themselves on their own priority list, to be very nurturing to themselves. So if you're feminine watching, this is something perhaps that you need to work on. But yeah, manifestation of this person coming back, a soulmate. For some of you, maybe you identify more with a twin flame connection. Amazing. So let's go ahead and grab some messages from the Twin Flame Angel Numbers by Mystic Moon. Angels and Spirit Guides, please, for Aries, for the Divine Feminine. Let's see what other advice needs to come through here. We've got 222. The necessary seeds have been planted on your journey. Remain patient as they begin to gestate. I love that. And also, if that particular number is something that you gravitate towards, or if you happen to be seeing it a whole lot, there's a special message there for you. We have 2, 3, 4. Your twin is leveling up their energy in order to match yours and will face you when the time is right. So for some of you, it comes down to timing. Look at this, 717. An encounter with your twin flame could be on the horizon. That could apply to soulmates as well. A future meeting, a future reconnection, reunion, a new beginning. And I love this, 711. Progress is being made in your connection despite what you are seeing in the 3D world. So maybe what you're seeing in the 3D world doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But in the 5D, everything perhaps right now is just coming together and giving you clarity in that way. But there is progress that's being made that you might not even be aware of at this time. Let's grab one more card. Focusing on the Divine Feminine for Aries. We've got 511. Your twin flame is now beginning to connect the dots back to you. You see that? So there's a lot of synchronicities here that are coming through when it comes to the masculine as well. Reconciliation and a reunion. And finding your way back to each other to have that new beginning. Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and grab some final guidance. I'm going to use my Guardian Angel Messages deck here. Focusing on Aries, Divine Feminine. Some final advice for the Divine Feminine. And bottom of the deck, we have balance, and I'm just guided to this next one because it's the star. We've already got the star right there. So, peace. Calm your thoughts and move your awareness to a peaceful space inside your heart. Feel the ebb and flow of love, the eternal movement of the stars. Your life is forever unfolding to greater spheres of love. Relax and do not worry about anything, for all is well. You will soon enter a time of well-earned peace and tranquility. And that is why we've got this. Calm waters and peace. The sun is setting on drama, whatever that drama represents in your situation. And that's what's going to take you guys here towards this balance. And this card says, difference is necessary part of human evolution, and everything in life is comprised of opposites, which together make life whole. If you light a candle in a room already flooded with light, the light of your candle would be indistinguishable from the light which already exists. Because of darkness, we are able to perceive light. Both are necessary. So some of you had to really experience going through a very dark time in your life in order to appreciate the better days ahead. And needing that equality between the two of you. And lastly, the star again. Believe in yourself. You are a wonder of creation. Wash away all fear and discover you are a shining star. Allow all around you to just be. Let go of trying to control life, for the light of your soul will guide you always towards love. Remember, stars are born through explosions of love. Love illuminates all things. Never forget you are truly a shining star. So this is a message here. These are messages for the Divine Feminine. You have to be able to recognize the light that you have within you in order for your masculine to recognize that light as well. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave this one, guys. So much to take in here for this entire reading, whether you resonated more with the Divine Masculine reading or this Divine Feminine one, or just took bits and parts of it that made sense for your situation. I do hope that it helps you out. And if you're interested in your own personal private reading, that information is down below in the description box. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Take care.